Shut up and sit down.
Well, good afternoon from a cloudy and overcast Brisbane. We're getting ready for one of our famous rivalries, New South Wales versus Queensland. My name is Mark Vollmer, and I'm here with my co-host who will give you a description of what we're seeing right now.
Hi, my name is Jared Fitzpatrick, and we are seeing a coin toss. Whoever picks heads or tails and it comes up with that will win the coin toss and get to choose what they want to do with the ball.
Now, Jared, while we're seeing all of this, both of these teams have had to deal with some wet weather. What do you think they're going to need to do in order to really see this turn into a good win?
I think both teams are actually going to try and establish the run, so I think it's going to be a very run-heavy game. Like you had said to me before, New South Wales have been training in the rain for the last couple of weeks, so they would be well-versed in holding on to the ball. Queensland are a little bit more all-round, I think, but their strength is still in running the ball as well, so...
All right, so it looks like we have coin tosses finished. Tell us what we see.
We'll wait for the signal from the ref. New South Wales won the toss.
Looks like they've elected to receive. Sun's not an issue today. There's only a light breeze out. It's about only 10 kilometers an hour. No predicted rain for the next couple of hours. But what's interesting, Jared, is with a 70+% humidity, the field's going to be pretty slick.
Yeah, I'm feeling it just standing up here.
Yes, we're in an open-air booth sitting up top at just about midfield. Those of you who are watching Gridiron thinking the American field, we now have a 45-yard field, and that's just to allow for the difference between end zones and everything else. So we'll see the two teams set up. Looks like Queensland's going to kick off. There's our hooter. Just very quickly, our reffing team today is our lead ref is Andrew Calvary. He's the guy who in the white hat you will see out on the field. He will make all of the primary calls. Well, then we have umpires and line judge and back judges that will be back behind the play or on the sidelines.
Did Queensland have 12 on the field?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 they do. So this will be, unless they figure this one out, there's going to be an immediate penalty.
Oh. And there she's off.
And she's just off in time.
Lucky. Learn to count. Not a good start to Queensland. Can't count to 11.
Yeah, that's right. And here we go. Here's our kickoff. It's official. We're underway. It's a squibbler getting down to about the 20-yard line, bouncing freely. And it's an open field run. And that was Grace Murphy who brings it back for about a 12-yard return.
And I know special teams is going to be a big part of Queensland's game. When I was talking to one of their coaches, he said that they really want to execute on special teams, so they must have been practicing.
And now what we see, for those of you who aren't familiar with with Gridiron, each one of these teams have got representative players. That's why they're all wearing different hats. It's kind of like state-to-state all-star game. And we've got New South Wales. They've got the ball on their own 32-yard line, so it's 1st and 10.
And both teams have learned to count to 11. We're off to a good start.
Okay, so it's a drive straight up the middle. Nice, solid fullback run. So that was Alia Karmali taking the ball, and a nice, solid pickup of about 6 yards.
Nice inside run, guards pulling. Good leverage by them as well.
So what's interesting about Gridiron is you are allowed to push a defender out of the way. So this is where the game is a little bit different from rugby in that you're allowed to actively block out a player on the defense. And you will see lots of what you heard Jared call pulling, which is where a person slides down the line and then moves forward. Here we go, a drive up the middle. Ooh, and a clean stop.
Yes, motion to the right. It looked like people were pulling, but I don't know what happened in there.
So that's Riley Hodgson, who is, that's the Queensland team. That was Alex Barker, who was trying to get some mileage out of that one. Picked up maybe a yard, but it's still going to be 3rd and a long 3.
See if they come back to that play. It does look like Queensland has overloaded the left-hand side of the attack, so maybe they will come back to the right.
Do have a little bit of stacking. Here comes the 3-way, and it's straight up the middle. Loose ball. Loose ball. The referees will call it to who got the ball back. But you saw the ball squirt out right there, and it might show up on the replay. There it is. Ball handoff is clean, and just before the knee goes down, and it looks like Queensland's recovered.
Yeah, it didn't look like anyone actually recovered the ball. It looked like the Queensland player just fell on top of it on their back, but that's classed as a recovery now.
That's nothing like a little bit of luck to start your game. So now Queensland takes over inside of New South Wales territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from about the 38-yard line. What do you think is going to be Queensland's attack strategy? Keep it on the ground, or will they play to their passing game?
No, I think when you look at, you've got Christy Moran, probably the best running back the country has ever had, and then you've got Riley, who is predominantly been a wide receiver and safety, because she has speed. So when you've got that in the backfield, I'm expecting to see a lot of maybe option plays, read plays, use their speed to their advantage.
Nice solid pickup of 4 yards on 1st down, so we now have a 2nd and 6. Riley's in the shotgun position. There she is taking the snap, inside handoff, wide open, and a nice cutback. Boy, that was Christy Moran, number 6, who also is the running back coach for the Queenslanders.
Yeah, there's a good, looks like an inside zone read left. So Riley was reading the backside defender. They didn't come down, hand the ball off to Moran. And Moran just knows how to find space. She makes the blockers work.
Absolutely. She's a great open field runner. I remember that. Now 1st and 10, so it was a solid pickup. 1st and 10 from about the 25-yard line. And there it is. Inside handoff again. And it is nice open field run. Something that I know running back coaches teach, but it's also instinct. She holds the ball and then double handles it. So there you can see her on instant replay coming around, and here she goes. I'm going to hold the ball with both hands.
Yeah, it's sort of like a fake speed option. So like when Moran goes a direction, half the defense will chase her. So they've just ran like a fake speed option to the right and then countered to the left.
Nice running. So we've got Riley again now in the shotgun position, means that she's not right up under center. That gives her a little bit more read time to see what the defense is going to do. There's a solid snap inside, straight up the middle. Looks like picked up a yard or 2.
Yeah, again, they're going with the inside zone read, but the defensive lineman managed to push 2 people back in the backfield and just disrupted the play.
I was going to say there's a lot of traffic there in the very midsection, and unfortunately, Christy couldn't get past that one.
No, it's a very good defensive play by that defensive lineman.
So we got 2nd and a long, or 2nd and 8, plus or minus. Riley sets up again in the shotgun.
And other Riley's now in the backfield.
Oh,
Dougie.
She's trying to get things set up. So shotgun position, quick snap, nice. Little open field work. Oh, and we have our first touchdown of the game. Brilliant running. Number 27, Riley Douglas, as you heard Jared say. Here it is on the replay. Call it.
Yeah, so they sucked in that defensive end. Running speed option is what I kind of assumed they might have been running just with the skills that they've got. And Riley just, you need one or two people, more than one or two people to take her down. She just doesn't stop her legs moving.
And they go for the 2-point conversion, which means instead of kicking for 1, run for 2, sweep to the outside. And the other Riley has taken the ball over the line for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it looks like they just put Moran straight in at running back, just direct handoff to her and let her do her thing. I'd say we're going to see a lot of 2-point conversions in this. Like we said, there's been a lot of rain, so I don't know if they've been practicing. They'd have a chance to practice like PATs and field goals as much as they might have wanted to.
Now, one of the things I've noticed is that the technical skills of gridiron, you really have to be smart, but you also have to do it the right way. As you said, with both of the Rileys running open field at one-arm tackles, they don't work here. You really have to take somebody down. How do you reckon New South Wales has got the skill set to keep Queensland at bay?
I think New South Wales team at the moment are actually, for the first time, maybe a little bit more experienced than the Queensland team. A lot of the Queensland team had played for the last several campaigns, where Queensland have never lost. A lot of them have actually retired and moved on, especially with Queensland missing a couple of seasons. So there's a lot of fresh new faces. And yeah, I think this might be the first time that New South Wales actually have the experience advantage.
All right, so a nice run back from the kickoff, a little bit of open field work as well. So New South Wales will take the ball from the 45-yard line while it's marked directly right on midfield. Let's see what they come up with for their run straight up the middle and a nice solid pickup of 5 yards.
Yes, they're sticking with their triple option plays, but the good thing to see with Queensland is they're not diving straight into gaps, because that's what you want. You want someone to dive into a gap so you can crack them. So they're actually staying disciplined, gap control, and making them kind of run up the middle, where if you can get 1 or 2 yards against you per play, like as a defensive coach, I'd take that.
So a solid pickup of 4. And again, going back to gridiron, you get 4 attempts or 4 plays to get the 10 yards in order to restart yourself. And, well, let's see what New South Wales comes up with. Little motion in the backfield, inside handoff, and a nice run. Looks like just short of the first down. Depends on where they spot it, but that was Bianca Umbrum from New South Wales.
Yeah, it was a decent play. I think they could get a lot more success for that if they actually hold the snap a little bit longer. They don't let the motion person actually get in front to block, or at least take the player out wide. They're kind of snapping it when she's behind, and so it kind of makes her redundant.
So one of the things that you're, Jared, talking about, when we say a player in motion, they have to move laterally across the face of the field. They're not allowed to make any forward motions.
Yeah, backwards or laterally, as long as they're not moving forward when the ball's snapped.
And I like your point, Jared. Unless you let this person who's running really draw some defense, then the inside handoff doesn't have as many options. But in this case, it's a first down. So move the chains. Nice solid pickup of 4 yards. Yeah,
this time they actually faked the middle run, tossed it out to the person in motion, as you're saying. Didn't have much to get. I think it was only, 1-2 yards to get?
Yes, it was a short one, but, at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10, looks like the New South Wales team has got some movement. They got a bit of a drive going. This is their 3rd set. So that's who we got in motion again is Grace Murphy. Oh, and they had a chance to drop her for a loss. She gets free and picks up a yard.
Yeah, they're still trying to get out wide, but I just think that if they just let the the running back get a little bit of more width before actually tossing the ball off to her or faking, I think they'd have a little bit more success. But because she was getting the ball tossed to her when she was almost still in the middle of the field, you had two Queensland players have that outside contain coming down on her.
So containment is usually by the defensive ends, which would be at the end of this front line of scrimmage. You see them standing just a little bit off. But to Jared's point, they will collapse the field, and here we go, inside. A brilliant take. That was Rihanna Davies on the Queensland team, number 88, cracking that one down and stopping them for a loss of about a yard.
They're having success when they can actually get the ball to these outside players, but I think there's a few little times where I don't know if it's been planned or something hasn't went well when the quarterback has to keep it. Defense by Queensland has just been disciplined and managed to stop her for almost nothing.
So two wide receivers, but as you heard Jared say, they will most likely keep the ball on the ground. Oh, that was nicely done by Queensland to shut that play down. Almost dropped for a loss.
It was, but this is what I was saying before. Queensland were being very disciplined before about this triple option, but now they're like, oh, we're making some plays, so someone comes flying into the backfield and takes herself out of the game. So you have to, like, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. Like, keep your gap, keep patient, and like, don't try and make things happen when it's already going to happen.
So I guess what you're talking to, Jared, is that if they start just chasing the ball, which is that's very tempting, what's the risk for them if they start to lose that discipline?
Well, that person that came through the middle. So if she's coming downhill, she can get taken out, or you can toss the ball like in the option, and then all you've done is left a huge gap up the middle for them to run through, and no one else is responsible for that gap except for the person who's just blown it.
Yeah. So in this case, it might have been a bit of luck, but if New South Wales thinks that one through, they'll start playing to that weakness, won't they?
Yeah, then you'd just start running traps. But I think it's just they just need to stay disciplined like that, like what they're planning to do. It's just hard when you've got a team that runs the same plays over and over again.
Sure.
It plays into that team's hand because the defense actually start getting itchy feet, and they want to try and make a play. They want to try and do something because it gets boring when you're like seeing the same thing. But that actually plays into the offense's hand because then they can sucker you in and like throw the ball over the top, but we haven't seen a single pass yet.
One small change and all of a sudden it's a whole different. Now what you folks are noticing, it's a 30-second timeout that New South Wales has called. Clearly they want to think about what's their strategy as they move forward because it's now 4th down with 6 yards to go. So either they have to get these 6 yards in order to hold on to the ball, retain it, or Queensland's going to get the ball back. What do you think we're going to see here, Jared?
I'm expecting something different. They called a timeout. It's 4th down. I'm expecting a pass out to the right.
Here it comes.
Yep, there
pass
it is.
Out. Ball's in the air. There's nobody. Oh, my goodness. And you are correct. Everybody was following that play of the run. 13 for New South Wales. Raven Bluegum, she was just a little bit too deep for that pass, so it's a turnover as an incomplete. Yeah,
like if you're going to call a timeout and that sort of thing, I always expect that they've called a timeout because they want something different. For me, you've got 4th and what was that, 5? We haven't ran the ball for 5 yards much, so I'd be expecting a pass. You need to be disciplined. They're playing on a cover 2, but that safety was down into the box, and also I think the cornerback blitzed. I don't know what happened there, but it was a good play call, but yeah, you should be able to read that.
All right, so Queensland takes over 1st and 10 from about the 27-yard line with a great slanting run off to the far right-hand side. Only a pickup of 3, but it was a solid run.
We'll see if this run game is going to sucker them in the same way and see some passes from Queensland, but again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you've made 4 yards on this carry, see if you can make 5 in the next one. They've gone with the counter
handoff
again.
Oh, there it is with a little bit of traffic. Nice open field block. She's going to turn on some speed and keep the ball moving forward for a solid pickup of about 8 yards.
So again, this is the counter run, but it looks like the outside contain people actually came too far downfield, so let Moran cut back up inside them.
So Christy Moran, as I said earlier, is also the running back coach. You see her protect the ball, but she also very, very, very clearly is great at that open field. And as you pointed out, Jared, you're not going to bring her down with just one player.
No, especially the way they're tackling at the moment is they're trying to tackle around the shoulders. Like, you need to go for the thighs. Just
Stop the legs. So
stop the legs.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, and it's going to be Queensland coming up with a strategy. They've stacked the field to this left-hand side near field. Here comes inside handoff again. Oh, and the New South Wales defense on top.
Yeah, they've gone with this play too many times now, and I think the defensive linemen have read it. Yeah, they've pulled... it looks like the offensive line have actually pulled to the left, leaving 2 people to actually come down that side, which I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but you don't want to leave 2 people on your play side.
No, unfortunately, with the drop of a 2-yard loss, that actually backs them up, and that does make it difficult for now getting 3 running or 2.5 running plays to go. So we've got 2 minutes and change here in the first quarter. Here's the passing play, and unfortunately, dodging at least the first tackle, but then coming backwards. Forward motion stopped at about the 30-yard line, so that turns out to be an 8-yard loss. Queensland is now struggling. New South Wales has come to the party.
Yeah, I don't think Riley, the running back, she's got to pick up the unblocked person, but I don't think she knew who the unblocked person was going to be. It looked like she was just first person in the backfield she was going to take and got caught off guard.
Right. So New South Wales would have to feel pretty good about this one. It's 3rd and 20 yards, which is going to indicate a passing play.
Although their safeties are coming up short. There
it is. So Hodgson takes it across to the near side of the field and picks up 5 yards, but that's going to make it 4th and 15.
Yeah, again, it's just a read play. The defensive end's come inside, so like I said, Riley's got some wheels on her. She's pulled the ball, which I think there's the right decision on there. But
sure.
The way the safeties came down against a obvious third pass play.
Here comes the punt. So from the 25-yard line, nice solid spiral going deep. It's got a Queensland bounce to it, touched by Queensland. So that was Malika Lancaster who got a hand on the ball, which will mark the ball as dead there at about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, it's just an awkward ball to try and catch, and if she does touch it and drop it, the first person there is going to be a Queensland player, so good call to just let it go.
So different from rugby league is that if the offensive player touches the ball but then drops it, there's no knocking on here. It's just a loose ball. And Jared pointed out there were 2 or 3 Queenslanders that would have landed on it. So New South Wales starting, Jared, at about the 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. What do you think they're going to come out with?
I'm going to say a triple option. The ball's on the left hash, so a run right. Nope, up the middle.
And Queensland read that one pretty well. So that's Letitia Sinapati, part of the Sinapati family that's got brothers playing in the men's league, as well as Letitia playing here in the women's as a rep player.
I think there's been about 10 of them over the last
That's right.
several years.
It's a full-size family. So 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 basically means that they'll have to come up with something.
So I think we're going to see another triple option, fake up the middle, and then maybe a toss.
Oh, it's coming just slanting off to the left-hand side, and that's one of the big runners in the backfield for New South Wales. That's Essie Stewart. She's been given a fair bit of a workload so far this morning or this afternoon.
Now, I don't know how my memory's going, but it seems like their offense is very scripted. They run the middle, then they run that handoff, and then they do a toss. So let's see if they're sticking to their script.
Right.
And then we've got the fake with the toss. Yep,
so
there it is.
A little bit of misdirection, almost bobbled in the backfield, but that means the Queensland defense is able to get in on the ball with a heavy tackle at the 19-yard line. Unfortunately for that's Grace Murphy in the backfield. She was dropped hard. which makes it 4th and a long 7.
That's first quarter.
End of the first quarter, and it looks like Queensland will hold on to the lead, 8-0. Quarters in football mean basically that the teams will now reverse ends of the field. That goes back to the good old days of where's the sun coming from, but that's not an issue for today.
And how many quarters are there?
Let's see, 4 quarters. I'm going to go with 4. 12-minute quarters here, whereas the men's play for 15. And that's just the way the game's been structured. What's your takeaway from the first quarter?
I think both teams are just trying to get themselves established. They're both doing a good job establishing the run. The D-line for New South Wales has been doing an increasingly good job in actually getting into the backfield. I did hear the Queensland team yelling at their O-line, so I think they also agree, so they're going to try and fix that. The run game for Queensland has been very good. The play calling's been great. They've been mixing it up. New South Wales, I'm kind of like... I think they need a little bit more variety.
So something went horribly wrong here. You don't start a quarter with a timeout, but clearly New South Wales wanted to have a conversation.
Maybe the middle run that they were going to do wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that's right. So we got to keep a little bit of a scratch pad going for how well they stick to the program.
But look at what down it is. This is what I said before.
Yeah.
They've called a timeout. It's 4th down. Whatever they saw isn't going to work. So expect something a little bit different because they have 7 yards to get in 4th down.
Unfortunately, it's a long 7.
Yeah, so Queensland need to stay disciplined in their pass. I would have all the DBs just pretty much standing at that 7-yard line.
Yeah, go with the preventing defense. Anything short of 7, and you're right, it's a turnover. Hard to tell. It looks like they might be setting up for a punt. So it would appear that Bianca Umbrum, number 89, is lining up for a punt.
But remember what I said? They did call a timeout, so maybe they've decided to fake punt.
She's also one of their running backs, so you're right. She decides to tuck it down, and we got to hope that Queensland sticks to their positions. And we've got the start of the second quarter.
False start on the offense. The running back has gone early. That's going to push them back. So if they were going to fake it, I don't think we're going to see it.
No, that will be a painful one. So false start is, you can see that signaled by by Andrew Calvary, our ref. So he signaled false start. As Jared picked it up, it was the mid defender, which is otherwise a running back, jumped a little bit too soon. So if they were going to fake a punt, but it looks like it's the real deal. It was a high snap the first time around. Let's see what we get in the second one. Low snap. She just barely gets that away. It's a short kick taken on the full at about the 24-yard line.
That was crazy. Why would you do that?
I was going to say, it's one of those things that's hard to talk somebody out of it when you get down to it. But that was Brandy Klukas, number 79, who is also one of the captains, and she clearly decided that she could get a handle on the ball.
Yep. So I didn't realize it was Brandy, or I wouldn't have said anything. Don't yell at me, Brandy.
Still, you're right. It is definitely a dangerous call because if there's anything slick.
Well, the ball also had backspin on it, so if it let it bounce, it was actually going to go back towards.
Good point.
New South Wales. So you eliminate any chance of actually getting a turnover, but actually gain yards.
All right. So 1st and 10 from about the 24-yard line. Queensland on the attack, and almost taken into the backfield, but turning the corner, turning on the Jets, as you said, Jared.
Yeah, I think she's getting a little bit antsy. I don't know what. Let's see in replay. I'm not sure what she was reading there. Nothing. I don't know why she didn't hand that ball off, but she's decided to keep it. Made some positive yards, which is lucky because it was a poor attempt at a tackle. But yeah, I'm not sure what she was reading. I think she just decided she wants the ball for a change.
So Riley Hodgson basically tucks the ball down, picks up a solid 4 yards, which is what any good coach wants to see on a first down play. So we got 2nd and 6 from about the 20-plus yard line. Stacked receivers on the far side, one wide receiver on the near side. High snap. It looks like she's going to pull it in for a pass, and it is almost picked off.
Yeah, Riley Douglas was put in at receiver there. She's normally a running back. and they tried to get to the ball, and it looked like the defender was kind of bracing for impact rather than actually trying to get the interception.
Yep. So 58 for New South Wales is Princess Malau, and almost tucked it in for an interception.
That is her name, not her title.
Yeah, I was going to say that somebody loves her. And here we go. It's now 3rd and a long 6. There's the pitch. Open field running, and it looks like it is well and truly good for a first down.
And that read was 1,000 times better there by Riley. She actually held the ball, sucked the defender in, so that when she tossed it out to Moran, she had grass for about 5 yards before she had to actually do something.
And you're right, that makes a big difference for the running back, doesn't it? Even though you have to pause and you have to have that tension, but when you see nothing but green grass in front of you, that feels good.
It's really the whole point. You want an option, so if they come towards you, sucker them in as much as you can to give the running back space. Or if they go to the running back, like, hold it as long as you can so you've got time to get downfield.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. The snap goes way over Riley's head, and she is dropped for a massive loss. Unfortunate turn of events for Queensland to suffer what looks like a 5, 10, 15, almost a 15-yard plus.
Yeah, the snap just went all the way out to the right. Riley couldn't get it. She's not Shaq.
So second quarter, 2 minutes in, and that was an error just on the Queensland center over Riley's head. So the good news about the shotgun is that Riley gets to see the field. The bad news is with snaps like that, there she is. She's got the ball in the air, but way too strong. Unfortunately for Queensland, Delane Palmer was not able to get to that ball.
It was good coverage. The DBs actually got in the lanes, actually put Dell off, so she couldn't actually run her route. She had to adjust, and it pulled her up short.
All right, so 3rd, and it looks like a 3rd and a long 20. 25 yards line, 25 yards to get back to first down territory, and they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but let's see what Queensland comes up with. They're going back to the pass option. Wide open, but picked off. Oh, it's New South Wales turning that one over. And that is a great interception. Cutting in front. Catherine Bates from New South Wales turns inside and picks that one off.
Trying to see if we can see it on the replay.
Here we go. Great pass, just a little short.
Yeah, I think that takes practice for those sorts of timing rights. You can see the wide receiver's already turned her back, and she's got to sit there and wait for the ball to come.
Yep.
And the DB bounced on it. The receiver really should have been coming back to the ball as well. But again, this is you need a lot of practice with those sorts of timing rights with the receiver.
So New South Wales 1st and 10, dropped ball right off the snap, unfortunately for New South Wales. 1st and 10 from about the 38-yard line. So that is a no gain, loss of down.
And she picked up the ball with her knee on the ground. Unlike NFL, you don't have to be touched as long as your knee hits the ground. It doesn't matter. That's classed as a tackle.
So New South Wales will reset with 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. Inside handoff again, and a real powerful running by the New South Wales. That's Bianca Umbrum again, taking the ball right up the middle and taking 2 or 3 Queenslanders with her for a solid gain of 6 yards.
It looks like the motion player on the New South Wales team seem to be getting a little bit tired. If they're not getting the ball, they're not going as hard. And realistically, if you can do that motion, you can take 3 or 4 players out just by putting some effort in without having to touch them.
There goes Umbrum again over the top, just plowing through a couple of Queenslanders, solidly in position with a first down. So a nice 8-yard gain. New South Wales marching down the field. Looks like it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 25.
Yeah, it's a good run. They've realised that the contain by Queensland's doing a pretty decent job, so they're just like, let's just push them backwards instead of trying to get around them.
That front line for New South Wales, they're big women who are also, as you said, getting the position power over their defenders.
Now for something different, they're going with a bunch left.
There's a crossover, and straight through the hole goes Embrum again for another big rumble of about 7 yards.
Okay, so they've stacked a bunch of wide receivers on the left, motioned to draw the defence away, and then what they've done is they've tried to crack back in with the receiver, kick out, and yeah, that was a well-designed, I think that's pretty much what you want from that play.
Yeah, that worked out really well. First down, so it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 16-yard line. So New South Wales definitely showing some momentum here, having sorted out some of the defense. And let's see what they come up with from the 16-yard line. It's a fade pattern. There goes the short pass over the middle. And it looks like number 13 for New South Wales. That's Raven Bluegum again getting the ball for a nice pickup.
I don't know
about
what this
13 yards.
Coverage is. Like, the DB on that side is really doing nothing. There's no contact. Stuck in no man's land. Well done to the safety to get across.
Yep. And Bluegum comes in with a nice fingertip pickup, especially with everything else going on. Nice short pass, but a solid pickup for first down.
Yeah, and they're actually starting to do something a little bit different now. They were very one-dimensional in the first half. Now they've come with this bunch formation. They ran towards the bunch. Now they've faked running towards the bunch with a bootleg out to the right. Really messed up Queensland's defense. I like their use of motion. If they just put a little bit more effort into the motion, like motion people, like if you're in motion, doesn't mean that you're just because you're not getting the ball, you can't do something.
No,
like a good motion can block about 2 or 3 people without having to do anything.
You're right. You got to sell the fake, and if it's not convincing, then I think what I've noticed here is New South Wales has actually lulled Queensland into that sense of it's going to be a pitch or it's going to be a run up the middle or a run off the tackle. And now New South Wales, the secondary is going to have to really step up.
Yeah, it looks like Queensland are playing a cover 2, but that backside corner, like if you're playing a cover 2, don't just let them run past you. You need to get some hands on them.
Yeah.
And actually trail them. Like your zone isn't 1 yard, it's a little bit deeper. So get hands and actually go back with them until something else comes into your zone.
So Queensland 1st and 5, or 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. We call this the red zone, primarily because this is where lots of stats say you should be scoring, coming away with points. So there we go, up the middle, and it's a solid run. All we have to do is cross the goal line in possession of the ball. So you saw Bianca. You'll see it here on replay. Bianca basically spikes the ball while she's still crossing, but she has definitely got 2 feet in the end zone. There she is, powering over Queensland, and she spikes the ball after the signal for touchdown. So second quarter at the 7-minute mark, and New South Wales is on the board.
Yeah, well, they come back to one of their favourite plays, just the fullback handoff. It wasn't working so well for them, but now that they've actually switched things up, they're actually keeping Queensland guessing. So they've managed to power over the middle. So I think we'll see more of these power runs. Yeah, here we go again. It's like, keep giving it to them until they take it away.
This time she was shut down, so it's going to be 8 to 6, with about 7 minutes and change left in the second quarter.
How many quarters are there?
I'm pretty sure there were more than 3 and less than 5. But anyway, we have a little bit of fun. You'll see the teams take a few minutes to reset to special teams coming on. One of the things we notice here about American or the gridiron is that you have special teams. You have the offensive team, you have the defensive team, then you have the punting team, then you have the kicking. Everybody's got a different player position, but on special teams.
Now, if I was New South Wales here, I am not kicking the ball deep, because I'm pretty sure Queensland are going to put Riley and Kay back to return. And if there's 2 players I don't want to kick the ball to, it's Riley and Kay.
So Number 6 is Christy Moran. That's who you're talking about.
Yep,
is
Christy
Kay.
Moran.
She's deep, and we've got Rihanna Davies, number 88. 2 good open field runners. Let's see what New South Wales does. And it's a bit of a squib kick that comes up short at about the 30-yard line. Going to be picked up and landed on. So ball goes dead right at about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, 30 is a decent starting position. She probably could have picked it up and got a couple more yards, but you know what? That's a pretty safe bet. Risk to reward.
Now, to your point earlier, Jared, New South Wales had a nice drive all the way down the field after that interception. So the interception leads to 6 points. That's got to make the New South Wales team feel like they're in the game.
And it was a bad snap that led to the interception. So it's just one mistake can lead to more mistakes because it puts you in bad positions. Every single thing in this game is important.
Inside handoff. There goes Moran. She's up the middle. Still open field and taking it down all the way to midfield at the 50-yard line.
Again, that was a very patient run by Moran. She had a pulling guard, it was a guard. She waited for that to set up and then just cuts downfield. And look at the blocking downfield by Dell and number 21.
Can't get and you saw the one-arm tackle. Yep, I was going to say Reagan O'Grady got in there with a nice open field block as well. All right, so Queensland 1st and 10 from right on the 45, or what we'll call midfield. And we've got the shotgun snap right on play. There's the inside handoff. Moran's going to turn the corner. She's got some power. Here she goes back into the field. Carries the ball for a solid 10 yards.
Yeah, I think I would be going away from this counter run at this point.
We do have a flag on the field, so we're going to have this most likely be called back. Whether it was a block in the back or something else going on, we'll wait for Andrew Calverley so he's coming to this side of the field, block in the back.
Yeah, so it's coming back. I wonder if that was a block in the back on that defensive lineman, because they came through and could have disrupted the play, but looked like they tripped. I thought it might have been a good chip by the offensive line, but it could have been a push in the back.
So because it's a personal foul, it's a 15-yard walk back from the point of the foul. So even though Christie had actually done a great pickup, it turns into a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, New South Wales D-line are starting to get more penetration into the backfield. I don't think they can keep going with that counter because it takes too long to develop. You need to hold up your players to run that sort of play.
Oh. Tried to do the stop and turn, but unfortunately cleats got caught in the turf, so it's only a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent read. I would like to have seen it held a little bit longer to suck on them in, but she made a pretty decent decision, got outside, and if she didn't slip, what could have happened?
Game of inches, as they say. So we've got 2nd down and a long 10 yards to go.
Okay, so I'm expecting a speed option out to the right here.
Let's see what Queensland comes up with. Here's the option. Oh, inside. She takes it, tucks it down. Still works the option idea down the field.
That was a really good decision by Riley on that first one, but as soon as she got past that second level, she should have tossed it off. But it's easy to say from up here.
She comes up a little bit light on. It looks like her left ankle got a bit of a rollover. So hopefully she can walk that one off. It's now going to be 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. Riley's on the right-hand side of the quarterback. Open field is to the left. Are we going to see another read option?
Nope.
No, it's meant to be a pull.
Tough to see which way that's going to go, whether the defense jumped or whether the offense moved. We'll find out. We have a false start on the offense, which means the play will be backed up 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a smart heads-up play by New South Wales, because they just bull rushed the centre, and the centre was the only one that didn't false start. Got put on her, what's politically correct to say?
Yes, on her backside.
Gluteus maximus.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing like being rolled backward. You saw her take a quick nap on the floor. But otherwise, there we go. Quick handshake over center. And let's see what Queensland can come up with a long 10 yards to go.
This is an interesting decision by Riley. She had a lot of field on that left-hand side, but she's cut up the middle.
Yep, Essie Stewart, number 77 for New South Wales, put that one paid. Big arm came out, and she got all sorts of jersey, and it was just take the runner to ground. So Queensland will set up for a punt from about from the New South Wales 42-yard line. Let's see what she can do. Coming through, nice spiral kick. It's going to take a forward bounce. It's going to let it, New South Wales lets it roll all the way down. Queensland will spot the ball at the 2-yard line.
This is what I hate seeing. It's like, if the ball is coming to you and you're not picking the ball up, get away from the ball. If you're the team that's going to kill the ball, pick the ball up and immediately take a knee so that you can't fumble. Just make sure the ball is dead. So pick it up, have control, take a knee, plays over. And if you're in this point here, you know you're not getting the ball, like, you should be getting a cab back down to New South Wales. Get as far away from that ball as you possibly can.
So what we do know about football is they will take the odd bounce even at the last minute. And what you hear Jared talking about is every coach's nightmare that somebody who just happens to be standing in the neighborhood. But unfortunately for New South Wales, they're going to start deep in their own. Do you think Queensland's going to do anything special here on defense, Jared?
Hopefully just stay disciplined. I mean, they're going to try run up the middle because they're stuck in their own end zone. There's going to be a lot of little middle runs just to try and give themselves some room in the backfield. So just make sure you're staying disciplined. I don't want to see any of the linemen actually fly downfield because you know they're going to pull someone and crack you. And as soon as you've come down and you're cracked, it's going to leave a massive hole up the middle. So just stay disciplined on defense. And I think for New South Wales, I think they're just going to stick to the plays that they know work. They're going back to this bunch on the right-hand side.
Yep.
So let's see what they go with this.
So it's coming around, and driven out of bounds. Nice. You saw the secondary come up on that one. The defensive cornerback got caught out a little bit. Could have been called as a holding, but in fact, you got Queensland coming through. So that's Kiralee. She actually played that one well, forced it out of bounds to make it third and a long 4. So let's see what New South Wales does, whether they will take it up the middle again and take the 4.
Well, they'll come back into their wing formation. So here's the other. And back up the middle again.
Inside handoff, but in fact dropped for a loss. Great read by the defensive end on the Queensland side. So you see them as they start to slide out here on the replay. The defensive line and the defensive end stay in their position, slough off some blocks, and actually drop for a loss. So we now have 4th and a long 5. And New South Wales has said we're too deep in our own territory to do something. We'll go for a punt.
Let's hope we can get some pressure. Last time I think the punt only went for 30. Didn't even go for 30 yards. That's right. Brandy caught it where she's pretty much standing now.
2.5 minutes to go in the half. This will be a real opportunity. Ooh, it was a short snap, but a great punt. Picked up on the one bounce, and that's it. Forward progress stopped at about the 35-yard line, 36-yard line.
Much better punt that time, and I think Riley was about to run away and realized it was just sitting there.
It just stood right up, so I might as well do something. So Rhiannon Davies, number 88, key in that play to at least stop the ball in New South Wales territory with 2.5 minutes to go. What do you reckon is the Queensland strategy here, Jared?
It's going to be outside runs. You're going to see Moran's on the field. She's very smart. She knows they want to try and take as much time off the clock as possible, but you also want to use your timeouts, get out of bounds if you can, to make sure you've at least got enough time to score.
So inside, sliding out, back to the inside. Great open field run, taking the ball down to the 30-yard line.
So they should hold the ball up here and just take it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. It's Interesting defense here. It looks like they were dropping back for a pass or left the middle open.
Well, with the option play that was sizing up, if I saw that the tackles they stayed out wide, which then meant opening back up in the middle. So we have the 2-minute warning. Umpire David Andrew Calvary and his umpiring team, the refs. This is now the chance for both teams to come up with a final strategy for these remaining 2 minutes.
Do Queensland still have all 3 of their timeouts, and New South Wales have 1?
There was one timeout that was called, and I didn't see who called it. So either they've got 2 or they've got 1.
Well, I remember New South Wales called one at the very start of the quarter, and then they called another one afterwards when they had the punt.
Yes.
Actually, I think they've used all 3. We should probably note this.
I was going to say...
We're not getting paid for this. We're not professionals.
We're gifting our time here to Queensland, Gridiron Queensland, sponsoring this particular game, which is state-to-state competition, and it's great to see Representative Gridiron coming to Brisbane for this inside handoff. It's going to be into lots of traffic.
Yeah, Queensland are getting a lot of success outside, but like I said, the defensive line have really stepped up. They're shutting down the middle, so if they're giving you outside and taking away the middle, take the present that they're trying to give you.
And that's one of the adjustments that we'll see if Riley can make here. Here's the inside hand up. Nope, she's going to reverse course. And she's going to get to the outside edge. And that's going to be real close for either a first down or a fourth down.
This is a messy play.
Oh. It was a little bit choppy setting it up, but it's enough for first down, Jared. So
it was, but I think Queensland want to score and get into halftime because they're starting to get a little bit sloppy. Not everyone seems to be on the same page. I mean, that was a read option, and she kept the ball without having anything to read.
Yep.
The O-line seemed to take a little bit longer to get out of their breaks. I think they're going to welcome halftime as long as they can score here. And New South Wales are still going hard on that defensive line. They're doing a great job.
5 seconds left in the shot clock here, or what we have is the end. They should, they took too long. Delay of game.
Yeah, just all the little things are just now currently going wrong for Queensland.
Little bits of discipline. So basically what happens, ladies and gentlemen, you can't see it. We can see it down at the end zone. There's a shot clock, basically says you got 35 seconds to set up for your next play. Queensland took too long, so they're going to be backed up 5 yards.
This is where the coach will probably have a list of 5 to 10 run plays and maybe 3 or 4 pass plays that they want, that they can just quickly hey, these are the plays that we have practiced, these are the ones that we know, that we've ran this 50 times in training, everyone knows what their job is, this is where you go to those plays.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that took too long for them to get set up, and they'll have to do it all over again, but minus 5 yards. So with about 1:25 left to go, Jared, you're thinking that Queensland wants to put some points on the board to get into double digits.
Oh, at this point, it's your game to control. There's 1:25. They've got the timeouts. They've got the ball, and they're on their 25. If you don't score and go into the halftime with maybe 10 to 15 seconds left on the clock, less if possible, then you're going to be very disappointed.
Tempting here to move the ball with a pass, but we now know that, in fact, Riley is probably a little bit gun-shy.
Well, this better be a speed option out to the left.
It's got a lot of field given where we are on the hash mark. So the wider side of the field, here we go. Big pitch out. It's over to Moran to take it forward. She's lost the ball, and unfortunately for Queensland, it's a New South Wales recovery.
Yeah, the play call was correct. They took what they were giving them. I don't know what happened with Moran here. Maybe had it in her left hand.
So she was in traffic, and normally she covers the ball for ball security. In this particular case, somebody got the strip.
Yeah, it looks like someone actually... She was taken down low, and the second person in actually went and punched the ball away. So that's awesome. You try and coach that, but it never happens. So it's good to actually see it on the field. Oh, and now Dell is down injured. Dell Palmer. I actually had to look. She's one of my players, and I actually literally had to look up her name because I've only ever called her Dell. Sorry, Dell.
So it looks like it's an ankle. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely an ankle that might have gotten rolled in that last play. And unfortunately, good news is with 1:18 to go in the half, if she's able to come back, she's got some time. New South Wales, will they just be chewing up the clock, or do you think they're going to go for points?
Well, the question is, can they go for points? I mean, you look like their play calling at the moment is pretty much a lot of middle runs. They're designed to try and get 4 or 5 yards at a time. They've got a lot of space to go. That's about a $10 Uber ride at the moment. I don't know if they've got the plays for it.
Coming out to the side here, near side, wide side of the field, turning the corner. That's a great run by New South Wales picking it up.
But they have stayed in bounds and they don't have timeouts left. I think
you're right. They're going first down. That was Isabel Naku number. Oh no, sorry, I apologize. Grace Murphy was that coming around the corner here. So now the wide side of the field is on the far side or the right-hand side. Will they reverse this and try to play open field or go up the middle?
Well, they also need to get out of bounds. They've got no timeouts. They need to be getting out of bounds.
And
so
they're lining up for a pass, but... Oh, great one-arm grab by Raven Bluegum. But again, to Jared's point, not out of bounds, so the clock keeps ticking with 48 seconds. And New South Wales did have one more timeout to play, and they've called it.
Interesting that they didn't call it last time and wasted a lot of time.
They did lose that setting it up.
I think that's their last one, so they now have no timeouts left, 48 seconds.
And they're right on midfield, which means they've got 45 yards if they want to put some points on the board.
Yeah, Queensland needs to just cover deep. You don't have to do that deep. It looks like they're not really throwing the ball deep. It seems to be all sort of intermediate routes.
Yep.
They need to get outside contain, because the only thing that New South Wales can really do at the moment is try and get outside and try and get out of bounds to kill the clock if they want to try and run it down, unless we haven't seen it yet, but one good block can set someone free. It could happen. Just keep disciplined.
Well, we didn't call it on the replay, but Raven Bluegum stretches her hand out and does the one arm over the shoulder grab. That's a proper NFL highlight for my money. But as you said, she doesn't get out of bounds, so the clock rolls. They got to call a timeout. 48 seconds to go. New South Wales comes back with a game plan to put some points on the board, you'd think.
Yeah, they'll come out with that bunch to the left again. They've usually ran it for a bit of misdirection or for blocking the outside. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they actually try and pass it. Overload one side of the field for a pass. Yep, there we go. But no one's open. No one's getting open. And again, tackled in field. That's not what you want.
No, so Bianca Embrum, number 89, gets the ball, is able to take it. However, the clock will continue to roll, and there's not much that New South Wales can do unless they decide to spike the ball. Quickly barking orders under center. So this is not even a shotgun. Here we go. Lots of intermediate traffic, and Queensland is on top of that one. Alex Barker goes down hard. Yeah. I think that will be the end of our first half.
They were expecting a pass, and they started blitzing from Queensland, and they were trying some misdirection, and it took way too long to develop in the backfield. It's interesting.
And there's our signal from Andrew Calvary. We have halftime. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick summary. We've got Queensland up 8-6, but a couple of key plays with the interception for New South Wales at the tail end of the first quarter, bringing it forward. So Bianca Embrum runs it over for a touchdown just into the second quarter. What do you reckon, Jared? What do you think the coaches are going to do?
I think they just kind of need to. Queensland need to talk to their O-line and just be like, what are you seeing? What do we need to change? What do we need to adjust? What's working? What's not working? Because defensively, New South Wales are actually being quite disruptive at the line level. So for things to set up, especially if they're trying to keep run that delayed counter, which I would just get rid of at this point. They need the O-line to block. And also, like, what's working for them is the speed options and the read options, but Riley needs to read. Like, don't just go, I've handed it off 3 times, I want the ball now. Like, you need to actually have something to read. Keep doing it, and keep going with the speed options, because the speed options are their most successful plays at the moment. They're working, so let's keep going, and then you can maybe run a counter up the middle, because it'll open up.
Yep, good observations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short break here. It's halftime at our Queensland versus New South Wales comp. Representative football at its best here in overcast Brisbane. My name's Mark. I'm working with Jared, and we'll see you for the second half shortly.
Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the second half. We are looking forward to an action-packed program. I had a chance, Jared, to speak with the New South Wales coach. Said we're really happy with the first half results, keeping the score low, staying on the ground as much as possible. What do you think is going to be coming for us in the second half?
I think it's going to be a lot of the same from New South Wales. Queensland, I spoke to their coach, asked them what they're going to do to try and minimise the defensive line of New South Wales' effect. Decent return there, back to the 50. And he said, like, a lot of the mistakes are just down to the O-line, miscommunication, the wrong person pulling, someone not pulling. So they're just going to try and fix that up now that they've had a half of actually running it. Because like both of these teams don't play 11 aside at state.
Yep.
So this playing live action, playing with a bigger line than they're normally used to, might take half to adjust, but we'll see if they actually fix those issues in the second.
So it was a great run back by Rhiannon, who picked up a lot of good yards. Big slice off the side there. And your favorite, Christy Moran, takes the ball forward for a solid 9 yards.
You could just see that whole offensive play. Like we said, the last 3 minutes of Queensland looked not great, to put it nicely. But just here, like that, the whole team, everyone got off the ball quick and actually looked a lot cleaner. The handoff looked a lot cleaner. So maybe they have discussed those offensive line issues.
So the two things, just quickly, we got a ref picking up a flag on the far side of the field. I think New South Wales had 10 players on the field. And it looks like Princess Maliu is off the field with an injury. So hopefully she comes back and is okay. Penalty was declined. There were too many players on the New South Wales team. So again,
that'd be 12. That'd be 12, not 10. I was thinking, why are they flagging for less players?
They're struggling to count to 12.
Well, that was the same mistake Queensland had in the opening play.
Kickoff,
so now we're 1-1.
All right. So I've noticed, though, penalties have been fairly light during the game. So that means we got a real solid performance going inside handoff. No fake to the outside. Turning the corner. There's Go Hodgkins. She's got some mileage and will go out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good read. It could have went either way, but like if you look at that far side, she does have two blockers on that side. Managed to get up the sideline and make some cheeky extra yards.
Yeah, outrunning the defensive end, and you normally would think defensive ends are pretty quick, but in this particular case, Hodgson had that one down pat. So we now have 1st and 10 for the 18, and Queensland chomping through some yards here. Good opening drive.
Yeah, it's much better looking than how they finished. New South Wales, I think they've just come out running the same sort of things that they have. The defensive line are coming out, but they're actually getting picked up, and as I say that, someone gets right into the backfield.
A little bit of a miscue on the front line there, letting that defender come straight through, putting Riley under a lot of pressure. She got the pass away, but it wasn't good enough for any yardage, so it drops as an incomplete.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure if they were meant to leave that person for the running back. I don't think they were. I think that was meant to be the guard's pickup, but they went and double-teamed inside instead.
So as you pointed out, Jared, with 11 players, we have a larger front line. There's a lot more room for either a gap opening up. There's the inside handoff straight up the middle, and it's a nice run by Moran.
Well, yeah, like you were saying, and also that was a pass play. They haven't ran a lot of pass plays, so they haven't had a lot of practice on who's picking up who. So first one, I think they might have made a little mistake, but they've got back to the run game. Still with that inside.
And we've got two players down, one for New South Wales, and it looks like Moran is down. Might have been a heavy tackle with a couple of extra bodies landing on her. Hopefully she's only winded. But otherwise it was a solid 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, we'll see. She's not on her back. She's on her hands and knees. Possibly could be winded. Not sure. But again, they're coming back to that delayed inside. I did speak to one of their coaches, and he said that they're making a little adjustment to that play. So that time they did get penetration, but managed to cut inside. Whereas I think before they were trying to get more outside. So if they're going to try and take that away, make an adjustment.
Well, it came on the tail end of what might have been a blitz, but it's clearly she got past that first line of defense and was into the secondary. So we got Moran coming off under her own power, which is a good sign, hopefully just winded. And that's always tough. I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody here who's watching or listening to our game. You get winded, and your first thought is, I need to breathe, and then you realize, no, you can't.
I got winded coming upstairs to the commentary booth.
Well, that does happen. All right, we've got 3rd and a long 2. Here we go. It's going to the outside. There is no option. Riley Hudson takes it down and almost gets into the end zone. Comes up at about the 3-yard line. Referee's going to spot this one. Here, we'll see it on replay. Spots it at the 4. So there she is.
Yeah.
She tucks the ball in.
It was a read option, but I have a feeling that receiver went and blocked the pitch option. So that makes it really hard when your receiver's blocking the person you're meant to be reading. Then she made a good choice and held onto the ball. The running back was like, oh, well, I'll just go block.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So we have 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. There's Hudson up the middle and taking it right up the middle. Coming down hard. Wow, that was a great tackle for Riley Douglas. She takes the ball, takes it right into the New South Wales front line, and she gets thrown down pretty hard.
Yeah, a hole opened up, but it closed very quickly. And the handoff between quarterback and running back was probably just a little bit slow. Not as crisp as you'd want with those sorts of quick plays.
So you all notice, at least on video here, the New South Wales D-line is pretty big and powerful. They've done a good job of getting into the backfield. And if New South Wales can take advantage of that, as in work with that rather than try to fight it, they'll do well. So we have 2nd down, and from the 3-yard line, let's see what Queensland wants to do. And flag on the play, which is a false start from Queensland. So somebody jumped the gun.
It's also interesting if you look at the way that the New South Wales are lined up. If you go to the left, they have 2 people covering the outside there. So if they've got 2 people on the outside, on the left-hand side of the attack, guess what's going to be missing on the other side?
Yeah, correct.
So
you can play the numbers. And unfortunately, it was the left guard that got a little bit excited and just flinched. But that's enough for the refs to call it.
Let's see if they come out with the same alignment and see if Queensland have picked up on it.
So 2nd with 7 yards to score the goal, and that's their only option at this point in time. 2nd down, there's the inside handoff. Lots of open space. Here's turning the corner, and it's in for a touchdown. Beautiful run by Riley Douglas. Gets the ball and gets in untouched, relatively untouched as she scoots around the corner.
That was a good play, misdirection. They pulled people. That outside linebacker came down hard and just got kicked out by center, Alex. Just opened up that gap massively. And that's what I was saying in the first half about being disciplined. Don't run into the backfield. Like, you've just given up your contain, which is your number one job.
That's it, exactly. And Queensland actually playing to that now. Here we go, kicking to the outside and running into traffic, fighting a couple of blockers. And that's Christy Moran, who takes it in for the 2-point conversion. So Queensland come in after the half, marching down the field for a fantastic drive.
And again, that was the same 2-point conversion they had last time. Direct snap to Moran. I think there was a face mask. I don't know if that's what that's for.
There's a flag on the play. We'll see which way this one's going to go. We'll wait for our referee to signal to us.
But also, they haven't fixed up the tackling. They're still
scoring the
tackling
touchdown.
around the neck.
Illegal motion on the play from Queensland was the signal. However, he scores the 2 points is good.
Okay, so that couldn't have been the call.
No, so it couldn't have been illegal
because that would have brought it back. So it must have been offsetting, because there was a face mask. So maybe there was a legal motion and a face mask, and they offset. I don't know if they called the face mask. That's just what I was seeing. Nah, it wasn't a face mask. I was wrong. But I don't know what that was. Let's go down to our man on the ground. Oh, wait, we don't have one.
Unfortunately, yes, our color commentary from the field is based on the two of us being up here in the booth. So They will enforce. There was a penalty, and they backed up Queensland. They will now kick off from the 15-yard line rather than the 25 or from the 20.
Well, that means the penalty happened after the touchdown, so
so
unsportsmanlike or something. I don't know, make up your own mind.
Dead ball foul, which means that Queensland will be giving the ball back in New South Wales, set with deep receivers. However, they should have a real opportunity to get a head start. So let's see what Queensland can do with a kickoff. Just waiting for the referees to...
Well, I wonder if Kelly, the head coach of Queensland, realises there was a penalty, because she's saying it should be up to 35, or maybe they aligned it wrong.
Nice kickoff and a long return coming from Grace Murphy, and a solid hit. Boy, that was a big hit by Riley Douglas coming in to take out Grace Murphy. So Grace Murphy from the 20-yard line, 25, looks like open field material. She crosses over and boom. She gets put to ground very rapidly.
Yeah,
and
she done well, because I think the outside player actually got into her lane. So she actually wrapped around and then took that inside player's lane and make the tackle.
Decided that this one wasn't going to get away with. So right at midfield, we have New South Wales. This is their first real possession now of the second half. First possession went for a couple of downs, but then let's see what they can do here. To your point, Jared, they've stacked it to the left.
Yeah, and if you look down this side, you'll see on the back side, they're still playing the cover 2 coverage, so slants are going to be on there all day.
And it was a fumble recovery. Let's see if we can pick this one up on replay. Here we go, a big hit right at the line of scrimmage. There it is, boom, and the ball squirts loose. Queensland recovers, so a big turnover here in the second half.
So Queensland are coming out with a bit more intensity. New South Wales seem to, they're still running the same sort of plays. They're still trying that middle run first up. I think they need to start using that as more of a decoy, because it looks like Queensland are just picking up on it now.
Well, we'll see now if the O-line for Queensland can give Riley a little bit more protection, but otherwise get those plays to set up. Wide receivers. Oh, she's going right to a pass. First down pass, and unfortunately does not get a good grip on the ball.
It looks like she had she stared down that receiver. If she actually looked over to the left, Kristen Moran was wide open in space.
And that's a tough one because Chantel was also open, but you're right. Moran running right underneath the referee would have been a beautiful crossfield. But Chantel couldn't get her hand on the ball. It would basically slipped out of Hodgson's hand, so we now have 2nd and 10. Interesting that Queensland opened up with a pass play.
Well, when I was speaking to Shane Prosser, one of the referees, one of the coaches for Queensland, he did say that we're going to try and establish a little bit more of a pass play, but he said more of an intermediate, short pass play. But Riley wants to show off her arm.
Sure. So Moran coming off for a well-deserved rest after putting some yards down. We have 3rd and a bit of a long 3 yards to go. So Queensland should be coming in with a run option.
You'd think you'd go back to what's been working is a speed option, so why not? Yeah. Toss it. Too late. Run.
Oh, there she goes. She turns it upfield. Hodgson gets a soft roll all the way down to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, when Queensland need to make yards, they're going to that speed option, and they still haven't taken it away yet.
Boy, that was a bit of a lucky long arm that didn't take her down in the backfield.
It's one of those hard ones where, for a good speed option, you want the defender to, commit so you can read. But when they're kind of in no man's land, you're kind of okay, do I draw them in? Do I toss it? What do I do?
So with the 1st and 10 from about the 30.5-yard line, Queensland's again on the roll for a second half start. Turning the corner, just tripped up, unfortunately for Rhiannon Davies. Tripped up by the blocking that was going on in front of her. So just a small or no gain.
Is that on? They're onto their 3rd running back now? Has Rhiannon had a run yet? I don't think so.
So New South Wales will set up, and let's see if their defense can stay disciplined. As Jared pointed out, they've got a little bit more seniority, but Queensland is starting to play to some of those limitations. 2nd and 10 from about the 30, 31-yard line. Here we go. High snap, inside handoff. Basically, there goes Rhiannon Davies. Tough to bring her down, and she comes away with a solid 6.5, 7 yards.
Yeah, they're starting to take advantage of their outside linebackers or their edge rushers, whatever it is. They're coming downfield too hard, and it's just making, like, Alex didn't even have to block it there. She just ran over and was like, all right, cool, you've put yourself out of position.
So Riley Douglas back in the game now in the backfield, and as you pointed out, Jared, they're rotating the backfield in and out. Wide receiver, slot receiver to the near side. Here's the pit. And we have that would have been another false start, causes Queensland to back up.
And it's all these just little bits of indiscipline from Queensland.
Just a little bit of a jump there from the right side. Both tackle and tight end for Queensland did a little bit of a jump.
And again, the centre paid for it. Still waiting from the snap count.
Yep.
Got rolled over. They just need to get rid of these little mistakes. They're frustrating for coaches, these little mistakes.
Because they're technical and they're preventable. And you're absolutely right. As soon as there's motion, the defense essentially can charge, which means in our case, the Queensland center takes a bit of a unrelenting beating. So here we go, the inside handoff. Oh, it's a nice, she draws it back in. Hodgson, can she turn the corner? Yes, she can, and picks up a solid 8 yards.
Another great run by Riley. This is what they need to do. They need to get outside and they need to use their speed. It was a good read. You can see 27 coming down the line.
You're right. She crashed in, and if there just had been one more blocker, she could have turned it upfield, but runs out of bounds, which in gridiron is a good thing. You heard Jared say it earlier. That stops the clock. We don't give away the ball. It's actually a good tactical move. So Hodgson picking up 8 yards, 9 yards, gives it a first down. And Queensland again back on the march. They're in attacking territory. Inside handoff again.
And again, it was that delayed counter, and you can see the edge of the New South Wales is just coming all the way into the backfield and just leaving a huge gap for that delay to run through.
All right, so New South Wales has called a timeout. It looks like the coach, that's Dane Robertson, needs to have a word with his defense. Primarily, as you heard Jared point out, the defensive ends and the tackles are coming in so fast that now Queensland is playing off of that.
And you could see on that one, they came out wide. The tackle for Queensland pushed them off, realised they were going deep, left them go, got downfield, and then the centre came, picked up. It was almost perfect. I'd say at 98, if it was just a little bit quicker handoff and she got downfield, that would have been brilliant. But yeah, that's definitely something that New South Wales need to fix because we're currently playing 11 against 10.
It is tough for those of you who either play gridiron or you've watched the game before. It's tough for a defender because they think, ooh, I've gotten into the backfield, I can tackle somebody. But if the play's already gone past them, they're now just redundant. And so if Queensland can continue to lean into that space, you can almost use that now as an offensive weapon as long as you recognize whether it's a blitz or whether they're just overrunning the play. New South Wales may be hurting themselves, although Queensland doesn't do themselves any favor when they have the jump start and the motion calls. So we have second and about a long 4. There it is up the middle. Riley setting up to pass. There she's airing it out. Long ball to the corner. And unfortunately, Moran can't get to it, just beyond her reach.
Yeah, if you look at Riley on the other side, she is wide open underneath.
Oh my goodness!
There's lots of space on that right side, but Riley, she's not a quarterback. She's played one season at quarterback. So it looks like she's got her target in mind and she's going for that, and not reading the backside where it was wide open. She's trying to get the long ball and trying to get the touchdown, but not every play needs to be a touchdown.
No, and you're right that a quarterback trained to look for a first, second, third option. There we go, up the middle. Moran decides to move into traffic to pick up the hard yards, but she gets an easy 4. Unfortunately, that makes it 4th and a long 1.
Queensland are looking like they're actually starting to get into some sort of rhythm now. New South Wales, I don't know if they're looking tired or if it's just that Queensland are just getting off the ball faster than they were in the first half.
Well, but Queensland rotating runners is in the backfield, so Rhiannon Davies is back in, number 88, with a 1-yard play, 4th down. Queensland's clearly going to go for it. Hudson setting it up from the shotgun. Here we go. She's going to take it out to the side. She's going to
just run.
Oh, my goodness. And because she lands on the ground, the ground cannot cause a fumble. So the referee says, nope, you came up short. Because of where her knee went down. It's not where she stretched to.
Yeah, it's wherever the ball is when your knee touches the ground or a second body part, which, yeah, she was just short.
So Queensland drive stalls with 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And Hodgson's got to come off thinking, I could have run that play differently.
It's not a complete loss, though. Like it's a win for both in the sense of they've now got a run team locked back in their 10. And we're already, Queensland are up 16-6.
A 10-point differential in a game like this goes a long way as long as you keep the pressure up. So there's an inside inside. And unfortunately for New South Wales, running into your own defender makes it a little bit tough. So Raven Bluegum was out blocking the cornerback. Unfortunately, became the interference.
Yeah, but it's a much better, like I said, they've been going up the middle. They need to stop doing that because it's very easy to read. So now they've faked the middle. They've tossed it out wide. Just unfortunate that she ended up running into the back of her player. And I think it's because she bobbled the ball, so she couldn't actually get it under control to run.
Yep.
But that's what you want. Just secure the ball first. Don't run without having the ball secured. So at least they haven't turned the ball over.
Wide side of the field is to the far left. Let's see there we have player in motion, inside handoff, and it looks like Bluegum is going to maybe pick up another yard, but otherwise taken down. Yeah, so that was Bluegum on the handoff. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Eleanor O'Connell was there in the backfield taking the handoff. She tried to power up the middle, and Queensland was there. She picked up 2 solid yards, but it's now 3rd and 6.
It looked like a very good executed play by New South Wales, but it was just good swarming defense by Queensland.
I think you said it earlier. The Queensland may be anticipating the play, but at least they're protecting their space.
Yeah, need to keep disciplined.
They're not overrunning it. Okay, player in motion. There's the pitch. Again, a bobbled pass. Oh, she turns the corner. And depending on where they spot it, the referee here is signaling a first down, but it looked like...
Yeah, you can see number 15, Tricky. She comes down and she sees someone's trying to block, so she tries to cut back inside. That's not her job.
Yeah,
your job is to get around, show your number, so you make that running back cut back up to where your help is. But by cutting back in there, you've just almost become an extra blocker helping the offense.
All right, so with a very generous spot by the referee, the line judge, we have New South Wales 1st and 10 from about the 21. There it is going outside. Oh, no, it's a loose ball. It was passed backwards, and it looks like New South Wales will hold on to it. So the lateral, Jared, when it goes backwards, that means it's a free ball, right? It
is. It has to go forward. If it goes forward and it's dropped, then it's incomplete. If it goes backwards, it's a fumble.
Right. All right, so there you have it. Lost ball takes New South Wales back a good, solid 10-plus yards. So they're going to have to rethink all of this now with a 2nd down and 20 to go.
Yeah, I don't know what they've got in their playbook for this sort of thing. I don't think they can get it in 1 or 2. I think they're going to take all 4 plays to get this.
Well, with 1:22 left in the quarter, they're going to have to start thinking about how do we keep the drive alive.
Well, they've had success with these outside runs, and to the right, that's the open side of the field. And at the moment, with a pull, they've got numbers.
No, it's a counter and straight up the middle, but Queensland said no thank you.
Yeah, that's where the numbers were.
So
Football
Eleanor
is a game of
O'Connell.
numbers.
I thought that was Eleanor O'Connell. No, it was actually Rochelle Ware. She comes up from a cornerback position to get in on that tackle, so she definitely shut that one down. Got up a little bit gimpy, but otherwise, linebacker back in. All right, so 3rd and 20. What do you reckon, Jared? Which ways?
I would be running it off to the right here. But they're going up the middle again. No, they try.
Okay.
You're not going to get 20 yards with a run up the middle.
Essie Stewart tried to get her mileage up the middle. She did pick up an important 2 to 3 yards, but we now have 4th down and 14. So New South Wales is going to have to punt from deep inside their own territory. We don't have any wind to speak of, but the ball is still slick because it's wet outside.
And the thing is, like, they've got those pass plays that we saw. Their receivers were wide open. They didn't go to a pass play, and 2 runs up the middle is very questionable to me when you've got, like, 2 downs to get 20 yards.
And I'm waiting for a signal, but it's the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm sorry, how many quarters have we got, Jared?
14 and a half.
Beat you to it. There we go, 4th quarter, so the clock stops, teams have a breather, coaches get to chat with their players, and we will flip sides of the field just before the New South Wales punt. All up the field has held up well for the game so far, so points to the grounds team for looking after the field. We've had some pretty steady rain over the past 3 or 4 days here in Brisbane. Temperature right now is about 22 degrees Celsius. Humidity is still high at about 73%, so the grass will stay slick, and we'll just see how the ball control goes. With 12 minutes to go and a 10-point lead, you got to think Queensland is feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and they're starting to play with a little bit more confidence now. I think they've got the communication sorted in their O-line. They're starting to...
Oh, my goodness. They punt. The snap for the punt goes well and truly over the head, and it's going to be a safety. So New South Wales tackled in their own end zone.
And what we were saying before, those little tiny mistakes that can be very costly. This is a snap that went over the head, tackled in the end zone, is 2 points for a safety. But even worse, Queensland get the ball back.
So there you can see it on the replay. She's standing actually pretty close. The snap goes well and truly overhead, rolls into the end zone. And even though we've got one of the best running backs for New South Wales, there's just nothing happening with 3 to 4 Queenslanders landing. 2 points for a safety basically means that Queensland puts a little bit more of a buffer on board. So we've got 18-6 as we start the 4th quarter. Now, Jared, a safety means that we have a different kind of a kickoff.
Yeah, they kick off from the 20, and they have a choice. They can punt it, kick it off the ground. But, yeah, the main thing is Queensland get the ball back. They've been playing a lot better on offense, and I think the D-line need a bit of a rest from New South Wales. Like, they haven't been as effective.
Yeah, they haven't had much of a break. They're New South Wales, as you can see, trying to tee up the ball, but it's not wanting to cooperate. They might have to sacrifice somebody as a holder. There we go, and with a little bit of luck, that ball will hold into place.
Well, there's no wind, so I don't know why it wasn't going on the tee. Maybe they need to practice that. And
what you can't see, but Queensland is really set up for a short kick. And there it is, a bit of a squibbler coming down, picked up, and we have open field running. Great work by Rhiannon Davies to bring it back to about the 39, 38-yard line.
Those squib kicks are annoying when you're returning. I know like they wanted to work on their special teams, but when you can see that they've got people pulling, they've got people like, they've all got alignments, they know who they're meant to block, but when you squib kick it, it completely messes up your blocking.
Yep, everybody has to find a new target. So Queensland will take over just on the 40-yard line. So what they said was that Rhiannon touched knee down on the 40, even though she fell forward. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. New South Wales having a couple of player adjustments. 3 on the line, which means they got 4 linebackers. They are going to be trying to anticipate what Queensland's coming up with. Horrible fumble. So Hodgson's got to go on the outside. She's got to turn the corner and still see if she can squeeze off a couple of yards.
Yeah, she probably would have got more. Like the wide receivers got called ball watching. She looked back at the play. If she had just engaged, showed her butt, so Riley had something to read off of, might have got a bit more yards. It's interesting on this near side, though. It doesn't look like they're covering the slot receiver.
It would appear that if the coaches for Queensland have picked this one up, that they should be able to say, forget the reading, just go for the slot receiver, because slot receivers on the far side, lots of open green on this side. Let's see what Queensland will do. Here comes the pitch to the near side. Moran's got the ball. She's turning the corner, cutting in behind her outside defender, spins through a couple of tackles and takes it all the way down to the 22. Moran really showing off her open field run.
Yeah, and she'll set up the blocks for you. I mean, it was a really good block downfield by Dell. Number 12 just needs to set something, like engage. Give something for the running backs or whoever's running the ball to read off of.
Queensland quickly back in with 17 seconds on the play clock. Let's see what Hodgson comes up with. Good snap, inside handoff. Getting through a couple of close calls. Riley Douglas slips through a couple of tackles and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defensive line got through very quick there. I wonder if this is back to that miscommunication on the O-line, or if they've just found their second wind.
So New South Wales is going to have to come up with some good defensive work. 2nd and 10 for Queensland, but they're definitely on the attack. There's a nice pitch to the outside. Running through traffic, but unfortunately running into her own player. So I think that was Lily Skelton going down, but we also have a New South Wales player, Lucy Glowag, who is down, and she's pointing to her right knee.
Yeah, I don't think everyone was on the same page on that play. Look at number 9 on Queensland's team. She kind of just turned and stood and watched the play. She's the one that's getting taken off now, so coaches have noticed. She's just standing watching.
Yeah.
Doesn't block anyone. It's like, hey, can I get your autograph?
Coaches don't appreciate that when you're not getting into the play.
If in doubt, just go hit someone.
Trotting down the field.
But standing there is not. Go hit someone. Do something. Affect the play.
So we'll have an injury timeout here, and you can see that another New South Wales player, Nicole Hahn, is there just talking to her teammate under the heading of, let's hope everything's okay, helmet's off. She has been able to move around, but she was pointing to her right knee, which for anybody, especially on defense, that's a tough one. New South Wales head coach Dane Robertson is out there on the field checking after his players. I spoke with him as I said, at halftime. He felt that the first half went well. I don't think he'd be happy with the second half so far, but he was looking forward to his team being able to put some points on the board, and they so far have been shut out.
Well, we've got a break. I just got a message from B. Clement, who is a former Queensland player. So shout out to B, who's watching, supporting her team.
All right, so that must be a pretty bad knee injury, because we're not even getting a walk off the field. It's full carry. All our best to New South Wales, and hopefully that is something that is not serious. New South Wales, with 3rd down and 5 to go, are going to be looking to keep the drive alive. I think, Jared, this is going to have to be 4-down territory with 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, why not? Like, down this close, if you, like I said before, when you turn it over, you're giving New South Wales a lot of space to try and make up, but it doesn't matter because Riley's got a first down anyway.
Yep, I was going to say, turning the corner, and Hodgson takes it down to about the 12-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 12, which means they can get the first down before they score, but you'd be thinking Queensland wants to put points on the board.
Yeah, and importantly, even though she was hugging the sideline, she went down inbounds, which does keep the clock running. Because right now, Queensland aren't the biggest enemy of New South Wales. It's the clock, because they've got just under 9.5 minutes to score a lot.
So Queensland lining up, and here's the inside. Oh, nice. She draws it back in, takes the run pass. Sorry, takes the option down to the 10-yard line, so solid pickup of 4 yards.
And just as I gave her credit for Kane Stadium Burns, she runs out. Riley, don't do this to me.
Yeah, just slide and take a knee.
Yeah, I'm trying to give her credit.
Yeah. So even though they say she stopped in bounds, the clock is running.
All right.
So sometimes we are puzzled by the way the referees call the game. So slot receivers on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Let's see what Hodgson does. Turns it around. There's the pitch to the outside. Open field. It's a run all the way in. Touchdown, Queensland. That's Alex Aarons, one of the Queensland captains, but there is a penalty on the play. I'm going to go with holding.
I hope this isn't on number 12, because
It's going to be holding on number 12. Let's see if we can pick it up. There's the pitch on the instant replay. There she is, and...
No, that's not holding.
Oh, my goodness. That's a soft call.
That I was going to say, after I gave a crap for blocking before, that was phenomenal. She engaged inside the frame and put the defender on their butt.
Clearly, the referee felt that she had a little too much jersey in her claws. So, unfortunately, that's a touchdown for Alex that will come back. One of the Queensland captains is going to have to think about doing that again. It's now 2nd and 14. Oh, sorry, 2nd and 10. So that goes back to let's do it over again.
Well, I hope Shantae doesn't get that in her head. Don't get in your head with that. Just keep going. Go block again.
And it looks like because it was a lateral pass, that's a turnover to New South Wales. So
my question is, she got there so quick.
Oh, wait, there's a
was
penalty
she offside?
On the flag.
No.
Sorry, there was a penalty on the play as well, but we're going to see what our trusty referee says. False start on Queensland. That penalty will be declined. With the recovery, New South Wales moves in with their offense taking over at about the 25-yard line.
No, that was a brilliant play by New South Wales. Like we've seen, their edges have been getting downfield too quick. That time she got in quick, but it looks like the center, Alex, was the one meant to kick her out, but she was just way too fast. Beats the center. That was brilliant.
So as we said earlier, if the lateral from the quarterback is going flat or into backwards, that means it's a loose ball. And because the defender got a hand on the ball, was able to drop and cover, New South Wales picks it up, and it's now 1st and 10 from about the 25-yard line. Okay, player in motion. There goes the inside handoff. So Blue Gum turns the corner. Sorry, that's Eleanor O'Connell. Turns the corner and picks up a solid 7 yards.
Yeah, like I was saying, like the New South Wales' biggest enemy right now is the clock. Running up the middle is not going to do anything to help the clock, but I just don't know if they've got... maybe they don't think they've got the speed to get outside. Maybe they don't think they've got the pass game. Like, these middle runs it's working. They can run all the way down the field like this, but run out of time.
Yeah, I was going to say, then they have to get the ball back. That might be either respecting the cornerbacks and their ability to come up the middle. Oh, there's a little bit of action in the backfield.
Reset.
Yeah, delay of game. The play clock had already gone down to 0, so New South Wales caught. So, unfortunately, New South Wales, something happened there, and the play did not reset in time. The play clock ran down to 0, and it looks like we've got New South Wales calling a timeout.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here. Their enemy is the play clock, and they ran down the play clock all the way to 30 seconds, which now stops the clock, which is good for them. That's what they need. But then they've called a timeout. So now they're wasting a timeout during an untimed down.
Yeah.
So
So it's a bit of a technical space for gridiron, but with the delay of game penalty, the clock stops. And what you heard Jared say was they've already got the clock stopped, but then they went ahead and called a timeout. So you got to wonder, something's not quite right for New South Wales. Dane Robertson's come out onto the field to talk to his O team, offensive line, and as well as everybody else.
Like, I understand that he's probably called a timeout because he needs a play, but in this situation, like, it's hard to get, like, just what's your most successful play? Call that in, get the play, try and get out of bounds, but at least don't waste it when it's already stopped.
I know. I haven't noticed the speed of either the outside defense linebackers or their cornerbacks. Let's see what New South Wales comes up with. They've wide receivers both sides. Player in motion. There's the inside handoff again. So picks up 3 yards, but now the clock is rolling.
I don't know. To me, it seems like New South Wales are just going through the motions to get to the end of this game. They're like, I don't mean to be negative, but I just I don't understand with how many points they're down and what they need to achieve. They're still going to this middle run and still getting 1 or 2 yards maximum from it. Like, here we go.
Nice
That's
cutback.
better.
Could not get outside, so the linebackers definitely sliding across. So that's Rhiannon Davies coming across. So Rhiannon playing both offense and defense this afternoon. And basically she's able to take Grace Murphy, take her down for just about a 3 or 4 yard gain. So now it's 4th and 2 with 6 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game.
It was a good play call, and this time, like I said before, like Tricky, instead of getting that outside, she cut back in. She's fixed that. She actually made them cut back up. But if you're getting outside there, at least you're giving your athlete a chance to make someone miss. You're giving them a chance to do something.
Okay, so under center, and we have a whistle on the play.
I think it's another delay game.
New South Wales has called a timeout.
Because I saw the game timer flash, so it went down to 30.
There you go.
So they must have just got a timeout again.
So that's their third timeout of the second half, which means they're out of luck now if they need to stop the clock.
Now they've got the 2-minute warning, and that's it, unless they can actually get out of bounds, which I haven't seen them close to be able to get out of bounds with their runs, and they're a little out past. They got close, but the coverage has been pretty decent by Queensland. I would like to see them try and just do some of these play action passes that were working. Give it a shot. You get nothing to lose.
Well, they do have a 4th down, so they kind of have limitations here to get the 2 yards.
And again, like I said in the first half, it's 4th. They need to get something. They call a timeout because they want to bring in a play and get everyone on the same page. So this is where I will be expecting something a little bit different, maybe.
So Eleanor O'Connell, number 89, in the backfield as their powerhouse runner coming up the middle. Lots of noise coming up. There she goes up the middle, and she's going to get the first down. So Eleanor does a great job of powering through the Queensland front line and taking a few players with her. Picks up the first down. Now, Jared, you think they should open it up a little bit?
I think they should at least give it a shot. 6 minutes to go. They still need multiple touchdowns.
Oh, bad snap from center. Eleanor up the middle, and she actually got a little bit of clear air, so she picks up a solid 7 yards.
Yeah, she's doing a great job when they actually give it to her and she gets a head of steam, but it's just they're just really going to run out of time. They could drive all the way down here, but the clock is just not on their side.
No, with it's a 3-score game if they wanted to get back into it. However, at this point in time, Eleanor running up the middle as she does again. She can get a first down, and New South Wales will keep churning away, but the clock keeps running.
The good news for New South Wales is they're starting to execute. I know it might not mean something in this game, but for these state games, a lot of players don't get to play together, especially live action. So this is like, if this is the sort of game plan that they've got, at least they're getting reps and they're getting some runs that they can improve on for the rest of the tournament.
So there they are, 1st and 10, straight up the middle, and it is open field. Can she get drawn down from the backside? The answer is no. A great run through the middle. That's Alia Karmali, number 15 for New South Wales, takes it to the house. So we'll see this one on replay. It was a quick reset. Looks like they're stacked to the near side. Player in motion.
Everyone's kicking down.
Straight up the middle.
That was a great block by 61. Takes out 2 people in the first block.
So Haley Tegaloa.
Yeah, and then goes second level. She blocked 3 people in that play.
All the way down, and just a fantastic run from Alia Karmali. It may be a little bit too late, but New South Wales lining up now for the 2-point conversion, having put 6 points on the board. And in for the conversion, straight up the middle. And it looks like New South Wales is converted to 2 points.
That was a quarterback keep.
Quarterback sneak from trusty Alex Barker.
Yeah, that caught the defensive line way off guard. I think they're still expecting, because they've just had big fullback runs, I think they might have been expecting the same and got caught off guard. Nice work, New South Wales. But now we've got Queensland are getting the ball back. Let's see if New South Wales, down by 4 now.
So, I miscalculated earlier. That's
Will
why I'm not a math major, Jared. I thought it was 3 scores required. It's only 2. So you reckon they might do an onside kick?
We're going to see how hungry they are. If they go for, because realistically, to win this game, they need an onside kick.
Yes, and then they need to get the ball back and they need to score. It'll be interesting to see what Queensland can do. Queensland has given up the ball twice now with the fumble recovery and the pass interception. Both of those have led to scores.
No one's lined up for an onside kick or an onside kick recovery. So
there we go. From about the 28-yard line, it's Riley Hodgson. No, it's not Riley Hodgson. Turning the corner, it is Hodgson. Open field. Oh, and tackled out of bounds by number 5. And you can hear the Queensland crew really vocal that she was tackled out of bounds. Let's see, watch this one. Riley's down the sideline. She's clearly out of bounds and tackled.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't a flag. She doesn't even make contact till she's already out of bounds. That's interesting.
Queensland players are here right underneath us. You probably heard them through the microphone getting very upset. Referees let that one go. They've been very light on penalties, mostly just technical ones, barring the holding call that brought back the Queensland touchdown earlier here in the quarter. But with 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line, Hodgson's coming off. Something's wrong with her headgear.
Yeah, her helmet hit the ground when she got tackled, and it popped one of her buttons, so she's got to get her helmet put back on.
Queensland takes a timeout in order to take a look at Riley's headgear and also to stop and think about what do we want to do with this play.
Well, they want the clock to keep running, so they're going to try and keep the ball in bounds.
Looks like Hodgson coming back into the game with her headgear sorted.
I think we're going to see a lot of read plays with Kay and Hodgson, just to try and keep the ball in their hands and spread it left, right, get outside, keep the ball in bounds.
So for Queensland right now, it's going to be about ball security, right? Keep the ball on the ground. Let's not get carried away. But at the same time, scoring points would be a wonderful way to finish the game.
I would rather take it all the way down within a minute and then score.
Yeah.
Realistically, at the moment, the clock is the main thing in this game.
All right, so they line up again. It wasn't Hodgson in, but in fact, open field running.
Okay, it looks like Queensland are they want the points. They're going no huddle.
It sure looks like it, and Hodgson is lining up as a slot receiver. Moran has stepped in as the quarterback.
Well, Moran played all this season's quarterback for the Bayside Ravens, and with Dougie as running back, so at least they've got chemistry together. But
Yeah.
I don't know why they're going up tempo. A turnover here could be drastic. Run the clock.
Yeah, I was going to say it's now 3rd down with a long 3. And let's see what Queensland can do. So they got Hodgson still in the slot receiver, Moran here at quarterback. So they have made that change. Moran keeps it on the option play, turns it inside. She got some open field space. Looks like she was taken down either at or right on. Referee scoring it as a 4th down. 4th down and less than a yard. So we're talking half a yard. Let's see what Queensland's still pushing the clock here. They're not wasting any time. Quick play. They want to catch New South Wales on the back foot. There we go. Punching it outside. Moran turns it upfield at about the 15-yard line. Gets thrown to the turf. 1st down for Queensland. So the speed offense is paying off for them. They're catching New South Wales on the back foot.
Yeah, they just need to get that 4th down. That was the most important. Doesn't matter how many yards past that stick, just get past that stick.
So 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line. Moran back at quarterback, inside handoff, turning the corner and turning it upfield. Lots of power running there by Riley. Riley Douglas has no hesitation about just plowing into people. Laura Lee Clifford looks like she's getting a little bit winded, but boy, the Queensland's going for the quick offense.
You can tell they want another touchdown. They're not happy
Inside
with
handoff. Here comes Douglas again. She slides off of a tackle. She can taste the end zone.
It's short.
It is short. Oh my goodness.
It's short. But again, New South Wales, like they're tackling, like when you've got running backs like Moran and Dougie, you need to go down low. They're just bouncing off at the moment.
So Queensland's not wasting any time. They're going straight for the up, and we have a timeout. Referee's timeout. Spotting the ball. Looks like we got a couple of players that are in a little bit of strife. So I've got number 27 for New South Wales, Jordan, who possibly winded, taking a knee. And we've also got at least a couple of Queenslanders who are struggling as well. So Del Palmer was holding her own there for a while. So fortunately, everybody gets a little bit of a breather here.
It'll be interesting to see what Queensland do. It looked, just before they got set, before this game got caught up, it looked like Moran was about to go under centre.
Oh, really?
So I wonder if she's going to quick snap and another quarterback sneak.
Well, she has definitely played both from the backfield as well as from the quarterback slot now. So Queensland lining up from the goal to go at about the half-yard line. So, boy, that could have easily been a touchdown. However, knee down means that it is now 1st and goal to go at the 1-yard line or less than.
Yep, here she goes.
Under center.
Quick.
Here we go.
Needs to be quick. And there you go.
She
push,
is
push.
In. It is a great result for Christy Moran, who takes it in for the 6-pointer, which will turn it into a 24-14 game with a 2-point conversion to come.
So I think they tried to catch the team off guard there by motioning into that where they had to hold up for a second before they could snap the ball, but ended up they didn't need to. They could have just lined up like that.
So point after attempt, there goes Christie. She's sliding off to the far side, and it's about whether they stop her.
Yeah, that should be stopped.
Yep, they're stopping her just before. So the 2-point conversion, not effective, but the more important thing is now the score is 24-14, 10-point game with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. The clock will stop. New South Wales should get at least a play or two off before the 2-minute warning. But now it is a 2-score game. That's going to make it pretty much tough.
New South Wales need to play like Queensland just played. Up-tempo.
Go fast.
Go fast. They're taking the whole 30 seconds in every play call just to make 2 or 3 yards. Now, they got a huge run up the middle before, but that's what we were saying before. Like, they might get one. I don't know if they're going to get... It's not a consistently big play.
Exactly. And, I mean, other than the touchdown that was scored on the last on their last drive. The chances of that inside run taking it all the way down the field are slim to none.
I'd be finding out who was it that lead block. It was Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was the running back. Whoever that was at lead blocking, I'd just be running the ball behind her for the rest of the game.
Squib kick. It was off the foot of a New South Wales woman, and coming up now, basically Grace Murphy. She's got some open field, but she's not going to get out of bounds. And she'll be stopped at the 40-yard line. So a nice 25-yard return.
Yeah, whenever
she picks
you can
it up at the 25, literally gets back to the outside, cuts inside, open field, waiting for blockers to set up, but then it all comes down to the 40-yard line.
Queensland need to be a little bit more disciplined in their lanes there. As soon as they get close, they're going straight for the ball instead of actually sticking to their lane, so they end up getting blocked.
So we have a New South Wales player down on the field, so the clock will stay stopped. After kickoff, the clock gets stopped for the 30-second play clock. However, in this particular case with a medical timeout, we'll hope for the best. And we'll see if we can get a number down, but it is definitely a medical timeout. And we're hoping for the best for the New South Wales players. So that's number 24, Grace Murphy. She was the one who brought the ball back, and she must have been hit hard, taken down hard, hopefully just winded. She's walked off under her own power.
And not one of the players you want to be off. She is probably one of their more experienced players playing for New South Wales and Australian Outback.
All right, so New South Wales with 2 minutes and 28 seconds is going to have to come up with something here. And unfortunately, they go straight up the middle, and with no timeouts, we'll just wait for the 2-minute warning to come up.
So they're still sticking with the middle run, which is working what you want. If this is the first quarter, this would be amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sorry, how many quarters are there to a game?
I forgot.
Yeah.
3/3 and
so they
a
are
half.
going with a quick offense. There was only 10 seconds off on the clock. Setting up for the pass, there's unfortunately just did not get underneath that one well enough. So Alex Barker didn't get enough heat on that one. And
but
unfortunately, it falls incomplete.
On a positive, it's incomplete, which stops the clock. Because normally we're wasting about 25 to 30 seconds between. Actually, and they don't have timeouts left. No, they've used all their timeouts. So at least with passes, if you don't complete it, you're not wasting the clock.
And so we now have third down, and it looks like a long 6 or long 5. New South Wales is going to have to definitely get some mileage here. They're under center. Barker goes under center. She sets up. Oh, looks the wrong way for the pass. It's a screen pass, and unfortunately, New South Wales took too long to set that one up.
It's an interesting play. They've done a screen pass to their fullback, whose strength is just running between the numbers. I wouldn't have her as a get an open space and make yards.
Unfortunately, because Barker looked to the near side, which is her left, but basically Umbrum, the fullback, had gone off to the far side. So whether that was a miscue on the for the two of them, but
I think that's
Queensland.
I think that was designed.
Here's the end run, turning the corner, getting some open field, but not getting out of bounds. Not enough for a first down. So it is going to be a turnover to Queensland, and I think.
But let's look at number 3 down here, Kira Lee. That's perfect corner play by Kira Lee. Like, she has set the edge.
Yep.
She's not letting that player come and widen the field, so she's now set a new sideline. So she's shown the outside, so they can't get to the sideline. She's forcing them up, and she's just like, that was absolutely perfect run play by a corner, and Kira Lee, well done.
So with all of that, Hodgson comes back to the QB position, and they might be able to get off 2 plays, give or take how well they run the clock.
This will be a knee.
She takes a knee because all she has to do is do that 3 times. New South Wales can't stop the clock. It's essentially a technical win at this point in time.
We only need one more knee. I think it's 45 seconds.
No, it's 30 seconds on the play clock. Yes, it's going to be. Yes, you're right. One more play.
So only need one more, Neil, and that is it. Game over.
They're going to take as much time as they want at this point in time, and they'll take the knee, which basically means that the play clock will reset at 23 seconds. So technically, they should have one more play, but I think it's going to be a wipeout.
So that was a pretty decent game.
It was a real nail biter right through first half.
I think both teams.
They're going to finish on a penalty here, so it depends on whether the referees want to get technical, because the play clock is about to wind out now.
No, they won't. There you go.
It's game over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was a great battle here in cloudy Brisbane, with Queensland coming up 24-14. You can hear the stadium crowd will go nuts. Jared, what's the wrap-up?
I think both teams have a lot to take from that game, but both have a lot to learn from it as well. But, a lot of positives they can actually take from that.
Now, is this like State of Origin where we have multiple games, or was this it?
No, last year it was State of Origin because there only was 2 teams, New South Wales. But now there actually are more teams in this competition. So there's Western Australia. So I'm not 100% sure how it works, because I got asked to commentate 2 minutes before the kickoff, so I have 0 homework done.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, from Brisbane, we'd like to thank you for joining us. My name's Mark Vollmer. That was Jared as my color commentation. He's got a lot of history here with football. Keep an eye on Gridiron Queensland. Look for the next game. We'd love to have you come out in person or join us online. Thank you, Jared. It's been a great game.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks.